Hey guys, all right, so this is gonna be kind of a controversial video. I'm sure I'll get many comments on it, and you know what, I don't care. I'm a boss bitch, and I'm a boss bitch for Christ, but I'm a boss bitch. Don't get it twisted. Just because I love Jesus doesn't mean I'm a weak female. I am alpha all the way. So anyway, as you guys know, the vlog right before this, I was just talking about getting in touch with your spirit animal and roaring, winning, doing whatever it is that gets you kind of in touch with your spirit, right? So anyway, with that in mind, come on. With that in mind, I was working out, and I just had a couple insights. One of my insights is this, women. As I was watching this interview, and this lady was talking about how she was raised and how she thinks the culture we live in is very poisonous towards females, and that when she was growing up and all through her life, she wasn't in touch with her power. She always played small, she played little, she played, you know, kind of behind her card. And it's funny, I don't know, maybe maybe I do in some elements, which I'm gonna reveal to you that I do, but I never thought that I did. I always thought I was a boss bitch. I always thought I was like out there and strong, and I do believe that I definitely am, and I know that's my energy. But I gotta tell you, some interesting things happen. Now, what I'm about to tell you can be taken in multiple ways, so you gotta listen to the whole thing to kind of play along with me. And I'm just gonna break it down to one thing. Walking into a room, walking into a gym, walking into a store, walking at the mall, walking into a doctor's office, just wherever it is you guys are, walking to the post office. Wherever it is you guys are going, I want you to just watch yourself in this one avenue. Okay, so as I was walking into the gym, and this happened at the post office, and this happened walking to different machines, and this happened, it just literally happened to me like 7 times, and I was like, wow, I never made that connection before. But I want you to see, if you're walking, okay, there's a car, here's a car, you both got out of your car, you're both walking. Well, in this instant, the guy was like literally 3-4 cars ahead of me. He got out of his car, and he was walking slowly. But I was like, okay, do I adjust the way that I walk so that, because technically he was in front of me, I slow my pace down so that I go behind him into the gym? And I gotta tell you, honestly, normally I would do that. Normally I would slow down, and I would, you know, do the polite thing and let him walk in front of me. But I was like, okay, you just gave this talk about being a spirit animal and getting in touch with your alpha energy and all that. You had to watch the vlog before this. So, Kita, come on now, let's step it up. Be yourself, like be authentically who you are. It doesn't mean being rude, okay? So this is, I want to really stipulate, this is not saying be rude. This is not saying walk faster. This is not saying put your elbows out. This is not saying slam the door in someone's face. This is just saying, when do you alter who you are authentically? Like, if nobody was around, what pace would you be walking to the door? And it's funny, even women as women will kind of slow down, you know? Oh no you, oh no you, oh no you. But men, they just kind of bulldoze forward. So anyway, this guy was walking, so I just thought, you know, I'm just gonna kind of experiment here. So I was like, I'm not gonna change my cadence or my pace. I'm just gonna walk as if he weren't here. And what was interesting was that he all of a sudden saw that I wasn't adjusting myself to walk slower behind him. So then he started walking faster and faster and faster. And it kind of got to the thing where it was like I was there before the door. And then he looked up like, oh, like he didn't see me. He totally saw me. But I was like, hey, what's up? You know, I was like, you know, I was very polite, held the door open for it and let him go in front of me. Which I thought was really odd. I don't know, I'm so used to men holding a door, or a man saying, oh no, you go for it. So it's just weird. Anyway, now again, you're gonna go, well, Kitty, you can have it both ways. I believe in chivalry, bottom line. Number two, I believe in women being authentically in touch with their power. So then I'm at the gym, and I was at the bench press, and a lot of these, you know, people out here, they don't know who I am at all, and I'm totally out of shape, so I don't look like the little maverick dog that I am on the inside, right? So anyway, I go up to the bench press, and this guy is behind me, and he was like, hey, I was going there, and I turned around, and I was like, I'm sorry, excuse me? And he was like, oh, I was gonna go there. And I go, well, you're not here, I'm here. And I already had like a 5-pound plate in my hand. I was getting ready to put it on the bar. He was like, bitch. I was like, what? I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? Now, here's the thing. Christ immediately captured my heart. He was like, Kita, get out of your egoic state, let it go, it's not worth it. And so, I was like, whoa. So I just kind of leaned into him, and I was like, I'm sorry, I totally must have misheard what you just said. It sounded like you said bitch. And he said, I did. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I kept on doing my thing, did my full set. Anyway, when I was done, I was like, wow, like it really affected me. It was really like kind of a bummer. Anyway, what ended up happening is I've made friends with a couple of the guys in there, and one of the guys overheard him say that. And he's a big guy. Anyway, he went over to him, and he had a few words with him. And then as I was getting ready to leave, the guy came over and he apologized. And he was like, he said, I'm sorry if I came across as a bully. And I was like, hey man, no worries. Could have been my fault, you know, maybe, you know, I gotta tell you, as a Christian, I'm convicted to apologize also, but I'm also a really strong alpha female, and I just am like, yo, I was on the bench, you know what I mean? So I've been in a weight room since I was like, gosh, I wanted to say like 10. So I feel more comfortable in a weight room than in a 5-star restaurant. Like I get it down in the weight room. Anyway, I'm sure I'll see this guy again. But then it was just interesting too. Even as I was walking out, I was watching this man and this woman, and the woman was clearly ahead of this man, but she kind of saw him, I think, like out of the corner of her eye, and then she slowed doon, and she let him go in front of her. And I was like, I don't know, it was just really odd. It was just very, very odd, just a very interesting, just an interesting thing to kind of take note of. So anyway, how many times subtly in our culture are we told as women, if we're strong and we assert ourselves, we're called a bitch, number one. Number two, why is it in our culture, if we are walking or going in the direction of something, that we have to step back? Now, I'm not saying, again, let me be very clear, I'm not saying be rude, I'm not saying shove someone over, I'm not saying pile someone, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying, like, as you're walking life. So anyway, comment below and let me know, are you, when you're going kind of through your day and your things, you're doing your errands, just start to kind of notice your reaction to other people and to see how do you fetter yourself with other people. Because I just found that, like, I found that really, really interesting little sidebar. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get off the phone. But get off the phone. What am I talking about? Anyway, you guys stand in your light, stand in your power, and above all else, what? Be a warrior. I love you guys. Mwah!